Am I the a-hole for telling my sister to back off after she did not want me to sleep in our mom's house after her funeral? I thought that I would not have to deal with my sister when I blocked her number. Last I heard, she was staying with some no-good friends of hers and they were turning tricks. Meanwhile, I was at home taking care of her mom, who was dying. She's had multiple heart surgeries over the years, and unless she got a transplant, there's no way that she would survive. She was on a wait list for months, but with no luck. Until her demise. It hit me hard because my mom's the most important person in my life. She worked so hard that I could be here, and while she might not have been able to do certain things for me, as she had to take care of me and my sister Liza, she tried her hardest. Which is why I did not mind letting her move in with me for the past year and taking care of all the hospital bills. This is after my sister, who is a nurse but refuses to work, told me that she would not take care of our mother. As always, she expects me to do everything, and she'll not let anything inconvenience her and stop her from enjoying her life. She would even go as far as they say that she cannot take care of her mom because it makes her feel a bit depressed. Well, she said that it gives her trauma for working in the ER. I know my sister, and I just know that she's a liar. What she would rather do is hop from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend and just expect me to solve all of her problems. So, while I'm the younger one, she always borrowed money from me and does not pay it back. When she does pay it back, she borrows it again a few days later. She lies all the time, and crazy stuff is always happening in her life. What are the odds? Who gets robbed more than 10 times in a year? Yet she claims to stay in a residential area with security. I mean, she lied to mom that she now owns a company and makes 6 figures, yet she never has money. She promised to go 50-50 with me on the bills, yet she didn't do that. She told me that she had just gotten her bank wiped out and she was still trying to sort it out. The last time I talked to her, I snapped and told her to stop pretending as if she would help. I was going to take care of mom on my own in my own house, but she was not welcome. So then she tried to talk to me through mom's phone, and at some point she sent me a measly $200 and said that it was for food. That did not even last a month. Mom got tired in the end, and even though she got tired of making excuses for her liar of a daughter, I told her when mom was on her deathbed. She told me that she would book flights, and I waited for her for hours at the airport, but she never ever showed up. She then told me that she missed the plane because she got into an accident. I asked her to send pictures, and she sent a picture of somebody who was not her. Mom kept on asking about her to the point where I had lied and said that she was with her son. He was unwell. My mom passed away with a broken heart, and the only thing she wanted was to see my sister before she was gone. Mom told me that I needed to take care of my sister even though I was younger. She told me that my sister often got lost in her ways and she needed me to not forsake her. I've been covering for her since I could talk, so all I could do was nod. My mom wanted to be buried in her hometown, so I arranged for the funeral to be held there. So tell me why Liza hogged all the attention when she made none of the arrangements. And while I did all the paperwork, she was busy putting on a show so that everybody would just feel sorry for her. What bothered me the most was when she made a crowdfunding page for our mom. I did not find out about this until after mother was buried. A girl came up to me and asked for the link so that she could help send us money. I would have never done that. It was not like we needed the money. Mom has insurance, you know. Well, in addition to that, I have a very good job that pays me good money, and I can afford to pay for my own mother's funeral. Since she wanted to be smart with me, I got the login details, transferred half of the money to my mom's church, and commissioned a headstone with the rest. She told me that she was going to get me arrested, so I told her she could if she wanted, but she did clearly state what the money was to be used for. In addition, she said our mom's family was asking for donations, and if I was not wrong, I was also part of the family. She was fuming when I told her that, and I could tell that I had already thwarted her plans, so of course she tried to get me back. After everyone had left the house and I was in my room, she came to my room to tell me that she did not think that it was a good idea for me to sleep in the house. I asked why she did not think that I could sleep in the house, and She said that since I was with Mom when she passed away, I was not pure. Therefore, I needed to be cleansed. Well, I asked her why she did not say that all week while I was making arrangements and she was sitting on her fat behind. She told me not to dare insult her. She was the oldest daughter of the family, and what she says goes. She told me that as the oldest, the house went to her, and she could say who stayed with her and who went. She did not want me to stay there because I had my own house in the city, so I told her that she had no claim to the house. After all, she was not there for Mom. Then I shut the door in her face and put some earphones on and simply ignored her. She called and texted, livid that I would dare ignore her. That is just her personality. She throws tantrums, and when she does not get what she wants, well, I'm over it. Unfortunately for her. The next morning, I woke up to messages from people from my mother's side of the family. They were telling me that I needed to respect my sister's wishes. If all I was going to do while I was there was insult her and accuse her of killing our mom, then it was better for me to leave. They then accused me of showing no emotion when Mom passed away. They said that my sister was at least sad and did such a good thing by buying a headstone. I don't care what anyone says, but Liza did not buy a headstone from what I remember. She was planning to con the people out of the money that they sent, and it's not a wild accusation. I know her. She does this all the time, and she has become so predictable. Unfortunately, the family still believed her because they did not live with her. If they did, they would know that she's a manipulative snake. What I want to know is, should I bow down to peer pressure and leave the house? I don't care if she's the oldest, it's also my childhood home. She, on the other hand, has done nothing but lie this weekend. I know that if I refuse, she's going to cause drama. In the past, I would have let her get away with it because of Mom. But Mom's not here anymore, so I don't get to have to, deal with some bratty woman child. She must leave. Did she not say that she is renting a $4,000 apartment? I know the lies. I don't even know where she's staying or what job she does right now, but I do know that she is broke. If she's so rich, then she must go back to her home. I mean, it is funny that only when Mom dies, she finds the time to come home. Even when Mom was here, she was always too busy. Now she's trying to act like the model daughter when it's too late, and I will not back down. Update number 1. I have good news, and I also have some bad news. The bad news first, right, is that I caved. She's easily able to convince people to think what they want, and I'm also still processing my mom's death and does not want to fight now. Well, it turns out that I do not even have to fight, which leads me to other good news. I've just found out that my mom left the house for both of us, not only my sister. I would have liked for her to have, even left Liza anything, but beggars cannot be choosers, and I've just come back from my mother's will reading. It's been a couple of weeks since my mother passed away, and Liza and I have just managed to get our schedules right so that we can have the will reading. After settling the debts, Mom left $40,000 to each of us. She also left some money to her sister. I won't say how much, though. And then she left the house for both of us. We both have an equal share in the house, and anything that happens to the house must be agreed upon by the both of us. My sister, she was fuming. She thought that the will was wrong or had been forged, and our lawyers was kind enough to tell her that, this was the real will and that this was the final decision. If she wanted to forfeit her inheritance because she felt she would not be able to get along with me, it was up to her. But it remained that we were both co-owners. Over the past few weeks, I've been living back at my house, and I'd left my mother's house the day she got our family to attack me. I got myself a motel for the night, then flew home the next morning, and once I was home, I did not speak to her for the rest of the family. I decided that since she claimed the house, there was nothing linking us together. So then I carried on with my life, though annoyed by what she did. But guess who got the last laugh? If it's not yours truly, half of that house is mine, and I'm allowed to come and go as I please. Not even her family bullying me is going to get me to leave that house. Before I went back home today, I told her that she would not be seeing the last of me, and I was going to make sure that I came to the house regularly. I tend to do business on that side anyways. I'm also thinking of either renting or having an Airbnb for my rooms. She was upset and told me that she was going to get me removed from the will. I gave her my lawyer's number and just told her that if she wanted to talk to me regarding the house, she had to talk to my lawyer. I left her standing there gobsmacked, and it felt so good after what she did to me the last time we saw each other. Good riddance, sister. I'm here to stay, and I will not be bullied. Update number 2. Tell me why I've not been able to properly sleep because of that idiot that my mother birthed. She really thinks that she's doing something by offering me $40,000 for my half of the house. The house is worth $350,000. My mom was smart enough to buy a small property and renovate it over the years. There's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a pool, 2 living rooms, and, well, growing up we stayed with her sister, and my sister. Her sister was unable to work for several years, so my mom was kind enough to take her in. She put in a lot of work into the house and a lot of money. So now imagine this woman having the audacity to call me and tell me that she had an offer for me. She told me that since I have my own house, there's no need for me to own part of it. She felt that I was being selfish by doing this, and I told her to reread the will if she wanted to. It said that I own half the house. In addition, how dare she insult me with such a ridiculous offer? She says that she also wants to have a home for her son to live in, and that's funny considering that she has not had time for her son for years. The boy's 15 and recognizes me as more of a mom than her, and she's flaked when he asked to see her for the holidays. When it's his birthday or holiday, she forgets, and I have to pick up the slack. I cannot let a child be disappointed like that. He actually stays with me when it's vacation time, and I've sent my sister money to come visit him once. She did arrive, but barely stayed for 2 days before saying that she had work. That's a lie. She cannot keep a job to save her life, which is funny since she's qualified nurse and is able to get a job anywhere. Her record is actually good, and I'm always sending her job links, but she doesn't apply. She feels that the shifts are too long and prevent her from socializing with her friends. She's been socializing since she was 15, and now she's 41. Does she not get tired? Anyways, I'm so tired of complaining about her and would rather just ignore her. I told her that there's no way that I was selling the house to her. She's going to have to deal with me, and I will not break or let her have her way. Update. I've had it up to here with her. Today I found out the truth about her, and I've decided to expose her to the so-called family members who think, well, that I'm the devil. She's turned them all against me and made them so selfish. Now they will see selfishness, and it's their family's reputation on the line. She messed with me the wrong time this year, and already I'm upset that she would even suggest that I sell the house to her. I told her that I would not sell her the house. I then told her that I was going to rent it out for a couple of maybe 2 months. They were only going to use half of the house, and if she dared to interrupt them, I would get her arrested. When I said that, she stopped protesting, and I've gotten her arrested once before when she showed up at my workplace to demand birthday money from me. She knows that when I say I'm going to call the police, I'm going to call them. I don't make false promises. So she backed off and allowed me to rent the place out, and I made sure I had her money for the water and electricity for the whole house. Since I don't know how much my guests would be using, I took that out of pocket, and she on the other hand left, saying that she needed to take care of a little bit of business. She told me that she also had a plan for her side of her house and would also start saving to buy herself a home. Of course, I did not believe her because she tells tall tales, so when I found out that the power had been cut off of the house, it did not take me long to know who was responsible for it. My tenant knew nothing since I had sent her the money for the bills, and I tried to call and text her, but her phone went to voicemail, so I cornered one of her close friends, offered a bit of lunch, and she snitched on her. She told me that I would find my sister working at a lounge. She gave me the address and I immediately went there, and Liza, who claims to own a business, was working there as some hostess, which is a very polite term to use. She was barely dressed, entertaining the guest. This I never knew about, so I took some pictures and sent them to the family group and told them that it was, well, what their precious Liza was doing instead of running a business. I then told them that she had stolen my bill money. Since they were so keen to do justice to me back then, they better tell her to pay me back, right? The group chat absolutely blew up. Within a few minutes, she was panicking. It got even better when she saw me. She came at me fast, but I was faster. I sidestepped her, and then she fell in her heels. She screamed at me when she fell, and I just rolled her eyes. Why was she acting so shocked to see me here when she had been ignoring my calls? After she failed to even take care of the house she begged me to sell to her, I was now certain more than ever that I wanted her out. I told her to get up if she did not want me to cause more of a scene in front of her boss and her customers. Begrudgingly, she followed me, and I drove us back to the house in silence, and I then showed her the power was not working and there was no water. As I was doing that, I noticed the state of some of the rooms in the house. They were incredibly dirty and had funny smells, and it was not like I was in a house. It was a pigsty. She refused to say anything throughout the whole interrogation, and she said that she had to go back to her shift, and I was going to get her in trouble, and I then asked her if she was working there the whole time, and if she could not make time to see Mother. She confessed that she's been working there, and she said the money was better than what she's got from nursing, and she's only had to work 4 days a week. She also revealed that she also has been saving money, but she owed money to some of her friends, and was currently trying to pay off the debt. Then the emotional manipulation started. She would cry, telling me that she felt so useless because she could not do anything right, and I told her to stop crying and being sorry. She could do so much better, and I asked her why she was never there for her son. Even if she didn't have money, she should at least be there for her son. Then she went ahead to tell me that it was hard to be there financially for Jack when she had 2 other kids to take care of. Well, I was taken aback. How did she have another 2 kids that I did not even know about? She then told me that she had a kid with her boyfriend while he also had a child from his previous relationship. I asked if they stayed here, and she said not really. They had an apartment. She told me that her plan was to have the whole house so that she could have her whole family together. She told me that she was sorry for not paying the bills, and she had been meaning to, but the money was tight. I also felt a bit bad exposing her to the family at that point. I would not have had to do so if she had just been honest with me about where she was and when I was looking for her. I told her that she needed to get her story together because Aunt Elisa was coming to talk to her on the behalf of the family. Update number 4. The family came up with a solution. That was after scolding my sister. She claimed that she was listening, but I doubt it. However, I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt and help her. My aunt told us that we clearly could not get along in this house together, and even owning this house together was causing conflict, so she needed us to either sell to each other or sell the other person's half. Well, I agreed without a beat. I was tired of having to stop everything that I was doing to solve her problems. My sister also did not seem to have a problem with it, and they also asked her to go back to her nursing profession. That was a losing battle. She lost it and told them that they had no idea how much she hated that job. She decided to quit before she hurt people, and Aunt then asked her why she did it in the first place. My mom and Aunt sacrificed so much so that she could go to nursing school. She said that she had changed her mind, so there was no stopping her. As long as the profession brought her money, then there was nothing else that we could do. Right after that talk, I started speaking to an agent who could help us get on the market. Once I was done speaking to the agent, I waited, and I waited, and I waited until the house sold, but I really want it gone within a few months. After such a long day, the only thing I wanted to do was relax. As they say, there's no such thing as rest. I get a voice message from my nephew's dad. He was asking me if I could stay with Jack, and they were having problems at home between him and his wife, and it was tough for him to take care of Jack. He was asking me if Jack could not just stay with me and my sister. It seems that he asked her already, but she never responded. The situation at his house seems to be terrible, and Jack might not need to stay with either me nor my sister for a long period of time. So right now, I'm trying to book a flight for him. When he gets here, well, that's when we'll figure out the living arrangements. Update number 5. Hey guys, it's been several months since my sister and I listed the house, and I'm happy to say that it's now been sold. We've split the money equally and have cut ties with each other. I know I always say that I will, but this time I'm serious. After how she treated her son, she's no sister of mine. What she does not know is that one day she's going to need him. She'll be old and gray, and he'll be the one working, and when that happens, he will not be there for her. What happened was that after the call, I told her that her son did not have a place to stay and was going to have to stay with us. She was thrilled and said, well, it would give him a bit of bonding time with her. She told me not to worry, I could go back to work, and since she is the mother, I cannot force her to hand over her child to me unless I have a court order. I already knew that she was going to mess this up, though. When I met Jack, I gave him an extra phone, and I told him that if he ever felt uncomfortable here, then he had to call me. He was confused, but he obliged. It did not even take a month before he called me and told me that he did not want to be there. She was never at home, instead she let her boyfriend take care of him. Sometimes her boyfriend would forget to give him food or come by the house some days. He also met her other kids and felt as if she loved them a bit more than anything, but when it came to him, she did not care. In fact, she made it very difficult for him to transfer schools and kept on saying that she would get to it. So she basically kept on disappearing him, and I don't know why I gave her the benefit of the doubt again, but when it came to my nephew, there was no way that I was going to let her be like this. So I called her and told her that I was going to fetch Jack and live with him, and I'd already spoken to his father, who agreed with me staying with Jack. Within a few days, we got all the correct paperwork so that I could be Jack's legal guardian. In the beginning, though, she pretended like she did not want him to leave, but in all honesty, she wanted him to leave, so then I took Jack so that he could live with me. I got him enrolled in grad school, and we managed to get the house sold and split the money. Since then, we've not spoken, and that's good for me because I am done with her. Update number 6. Hey guys, it's been about 2 weeks since my last update, and my sister and her boyfriend have been arrested. They've been conducting a card scamming business where she works, and it's been going on for months now. But they've been caught, and now her kids have no mom. It is unlikely that she's coming out soon. She was denied bail because of some misdemeanors, and she told my aunt to contact me, demanding that I get her a lawyer. I told her to use the money she got for the house. But then apparently the money was not in her possession, and she gave it to her boyfriend to, quote, invest, and who knows if that's even true. But the fact of the matter is that there's no money. I told her that I was done helping her, and I hope she gets several years. All her karma's catching up to her now, and it would not be my place to stop it. So I ignored her calls and told her to sort it out on her own. Final update. Guys, the chickens came to roost. Well, firstly, she's the one who got the worst of the punishment. Her boyfriend was smart enough to make her do most of the scamming. He testified against her and only got 5 years and about a $10,000 fine. She, on the other hand, got herself the fine and 10 years, which is double the punishment. When she got sentenced, she was crying a lot, and she told me that she wished that she could go back in time and had not allowed him to lead her astray like that. I told her that her own choices led her here. If she wanted to say no, she could have, and on the other hand, she lost custody of her other daughter to Aunt Liza. So now Aunt Liza and I are taking care of her kids while she rots in jail with Raymond. On the other hand, Jack is doing so well. He's well adjusted to the new environment in school, and his grades have improved from his last school. I'm actually happy to be taking care of him. He's a bright young man who just lost the generic lottery. I don't know what his dad is doing, but he and his wife are having problems. He even told me that he feared he was in physical danger from that woman. So, I don't know, it looks like I'm going to have to take care of him till he's 18 years of age. I don't mind though, in the first place I was not going to have kids. Marriage might still happen since I'm only 36, but I'm not really holding out for it. Therefore, Jack is my only chance to have an extended family. I've taken some of the money that I got from the sale of the house and put it into a fund for him. I want him to be taken care of no matter what happens to me. I've also made sure that his mom cannot touch an ounce of that money. I've not yet been to visit her in prison, and it's too far. I don't want to catch a flight to see somebody whose stupid decisions landed her there. So I guess it's safe to say that the drama's over. Good, because I'm exhausted. I could use a year-long nap after this, and she's put me through so much. I've not even had a chance to grieve Mom as much as I wanted to. I'm just so glad that OP takes over Jack in this situation, because without OP, Jack's mother, aka OP's sister, was not a good person. She ends up going to prison for 10 years for all sorts of fraud, and I just can't think in my head what would have happened to Jack if OP was not even in the picture. So guys, I do want to know your opinion on this one. What would you have done if your sister was causing all these issues in your life throughout the entire time that you knew her? Drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. My name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories every single day, going over topics of inheritance dramas, kinda like today, family issues, all sorts of stories. So if you want to be a part of these, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. It's cool to be kind. See ya!